Okay, section 1.5 is about loans and investments and interest. And our objectives today are to write recursive formulas to represent loan and investment situations and to determine the value of an investment or how much is owed on a loan after a period of time. So let's say you plan to borrow $22,000 to buy a car. Everybody wants to end up with a car. So let's say the interest rate that they're going to charge you is 7.9%. Interest rates go up, they go down. This may be high at some times and low at others, but 7.9% right now would be a pretty high interest rate. And interest is charged or compounded monthly. Compounded. It's another word. We say compound interest. Compounded monthly. Okay? Let's stop for a second and talk about what compound interest is. Compound interest, okay, means interest is taken more than once. And we have a rate of 7.9%. That's always per year. 7.9% per year. But that's not how much we would be charged each month. We would not be charged 7.9% per month. That would be highly extreme. Okay? But compound interest, they can take interest annually, which is not that frequent anymore. Annually, which would be one time a year, they take interest. Okay? Or they can do it monthly, and I say take interest, but they also could be giving interest. If you have an investment, you would be getting interest and gaining money at these times. Of course, 12 months in a year, so it'd be 12 times a year. Daily would obviously be 365 times a year. And quarterly is another one, would be 4 times a year. Okay? Now, daily and monthly are the two most common ways of compounding interest. We give interest daily or monthly. A lot of banks, they'll compound your interest daily, but they won't actually put it in your account. They'll only put it in your account once a month. Is the way a lot of these work. Now, we talk about our planning to buy our car here. The interest rate is 7.9%, but it's charged monthly. So we have to say, what is the monthly interest rate? Well, it would be that 7.9% divided by 12, okay, which is 0.000658. 0.00658. That's how much they would charge you monthly, which is a very small percentage, but they're going to charge it to you 12 times. Okay. So then the next question, logical question, is we want to know how much interest are we going to have to pay. So how much will we owe in interest? At the end of the month, the end of 1 month. Well, they are charging us on the whole $22,000. So we have $22,000, okay, and we multiply that times our monthly interest rate of 0.00658. And that gives us about $144.76. So that means that is added to the cost of the loan. So we started with our loan of $22,000, but actually we owe more than that because we were charged interest. So because of that, so at the end of the first month, we actually owe, okay, this is the interest, okay, which means we owe $22,000 plus $144.76. We owe $22,144.76. So obviously, now once we're ready to make a payment, now it's the end of the first month, we're ready to make our first payment. Our payment obviously needs to be more than that so that we can start saving money. Say our monthly payment is going to equal $300. Okay, we're going to pay off this car at $300 at a time. Well then, how much do we owe on the car after 1 month. Well, as we said before, we have that 22,000 plus the 144.76, which we already added in, right? Minus now 300, minus 300, which would mean we would owe $21,844.76. Right? That's how much we would owe. So it's gone down by about $150. Now, if we're going to do our second month, we now have to recalculate our interest because we're not paying interest on $22,000 anymore. Now we're paying interest on $21,844.76. And we have to multiply that times 0.00658, which gives us $143.73. So again, this we have to add it to the total that we owe, and then we can again subtract off 300. But you notice that our interest went down a little bit. The first month we owed $144. This month we owe about $1 less, $143.73. It's a little over $1 less than we owed the first month. And every month our amount of interest we pay should go down, and more should go on the principal, which the principal is that starting amount, is that amount. This here is the principal, what we started with, how much we took out a loan for. So if we calculate this, this would be, so we take the 21,844.76 plus 143.73, the interest they charge us, and minus 300, and that would give us about $21,688.49. And we could continue that process until all the way through until our loan was down to zero and we were done paying it off. By taking now, if we wanted to do the third month, we'd have to start here, multiply by 0.00658 again, and the process would continually repeat itself. It's recursive. But suppose that we'd like to not have to do it, to have it a little bit easier. Do it more less than one step. Well, here's how we can do that. Okay, we're going to have a formula here. It's a recursive formula. U sub 0 is our starting amount, that principal that we talked about. The principal. How much did we get a loan for? How much did we invest? We'll look at that in a minute. And then U sub n, right, is going to equal U sub n minus 1. And we're going to multiply by this, 1 plus the rate divided by n. This is, and we're going to add on our payment, which we're going to call P. Okay, now we'll clarify this and we'll show you what this means and how this works and why. We'll go back to that car example to show you here. And this is the number of times compounded. Whereas this is the yearly interest rate, which is what we did up here. We took when we calculated, we took 0.079 was our rate, and we divided by 12 to get our monthly rate of 0.00658. Now you're asking, where does the 1 plus come from? Well, that comes from right here where we started, where we calculated our interest back here. We calculated how much do we owe on the car after the first month. We calculated 22,000, we multiplied it by 0.00658, and we got our interest. And we added that together, 22,000 plus 144.76. So we took 100% of the principal and added on the interest, which is also a percent. The 1 represents the principal that we started with. It represents that starting amount. So we need that because remember how we always added that. We did it down here as well. We added it here. We also added it here. Each time we took the principal and we added on the interest. This is 1 plus r divided by n. That's where it's coming from. Okay? And this is our payment right here. All right, let's look at an investment example. Okay? So you invest $3,000 and we'll put $100 every 3 months into an account that gets 6% interest compounded quarterly. So 4 times a year. Okay? So we're going to write our recursive rule for this, and then that will make it easier for us to go through and figure out what we have each month. Now, my u sub 0 is the 3,000 that I started with. That's the amount that I put in to begin, that I'm going to start with. My u sub n would equal u sub n minus 1 times 1 plus the rate, which is 0.06%, 0.06, divided by 4, because we are compounding quarterly. So we divide by 4 instead of by 12. And this time we're putting in $100 every month. So we are adding $100 every month. The last time when we talked about the car, we were subtracting. That's because it was a payment, and we want our loan amount to go down. We want an investment amount to go up. We're adding money each month. We're adding $100. So if I start there, to find what I'd have at the end of 1 month, and this is why we use u sub 0, because we haven't gained any interest when we put the 3,000 in. It would be 3,000 times 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4 plus 100, which we'll see is, put it in here, 3,000, 1 plus 0.06 divided by 4 plus 100. So at the end of 1 month, we have, or the end of, 3 months, the end of 3 months, because we're not doing it every month. We're doing it every 3 months, every quarter. Okay? That would mean we would have $3,145 at the end of 3 months. Okay? This would be the end of the first, u sub 1 in this case is the first quarter. After the first quarter, we would have $3,145. The second quarter, so u sub 2, we take this amount now, because we've got that in there. We're assuming we're not taking any out. And we use that, but use everything else stays the same. 0.06 divided by 4 plus 100. So now we do the same thing. I'm going to hit this in, but now all I have to do is go back here and change this 3,000 to 3,145. And now we have, at the end of the second quarter, we have $3,292.17. And we could go on the third quarter, we would take this and put it here, and we could continue on like that, determining what we have. Okay, so notice that when it's an investment, we always add that amount in because we want our investments to get more and more valuable. Okay, let's say you borrow $10,000 at 4% compounded monthly. Okay. With a payment of $120 per month. Okay. So let's write a recursive rule. And determine how much you owe after 1 month. We could always do 2 months and 3 months and everything. Okay, so our recursive rule, our U sub 0 is that principal, $10,000. And our U sub n, it's U sub n minus 1 times 1 plus, the rate in this case is 0.04 divided by 12 because we are doing it monthly. And this time, this is a payment of 120. We want our loan amount to go down, so we're going to set that payment with it's minus 120. So U sub 1 would equal that 10,000 is 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12 minus 120, and that ends up being $9,913.33. And then the second month, we would move this in here and repeat the process. That's why it's recursive. Okay. We could determine that one as well. 9,913.33 times 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12 minus 120. And we would owe $9,826.37 after the second month. We see that that's what our calculator gave us. Put it in.